we moved to our 15 kilowatt EV and smart charging on the right hand side, what we found is that many people had inverters at home, and then they wanted to include EV charging. And because our products are transformer based, we were able to include the technology we learned from EV charging and integrate it into our inverters. So in fact, anyone who owns a 10 or 15 kilowatt Microcare inverter, and remember there's a lifetime warranty on our servicing on our product, we gave them for free EV charging with the inverter. So we've got some amazing people, we've got EVs, Microcare inverters, and free EV chargers at home with our products. But this has led us to our newest development and something at the back there which I'm going to walk shortly. And that is we came up with a global first, a DC to DC fast charger. And that one over there is the 50 kilowatt. It has a CCS fitting. And what's unique about this product is that this doesn't require the grid nor a battery. How does this charge the car? This goes direct from solar panels directly into the car. So no grid required and no battery required. And this is it. I've left the cover off just because it looks impressive, and there's all the components that we manufactured and designed, and we've made a DC to DC charger, 50 kilowatts. That's incredible, 50 kilowatts directly into my car. I'm driving a BMW iX3 at the moment. That's quite a big battery in there. Never really taken it below 50%, but that's a less than hour fast charge, direct from solar. So they go and they get someone to come and put a nice big 120, 150 kilowatt fast charger in. Anyway, next thing they get their first bill that next month, and they fall off their chair. What they've not accounted for is the increase from 120 to 150 kilowatts of maximum demand charge. What am I talking about? For those in the commercial space, when you have to pay for your electricity, you pay a maximum demand charge. Coca-Cola, Aspen, Bridgestone, was all these companies right here, they pay a massive maximum demand charge to make sure that Eskom can supply them power. So they've got a peak, and if you spend just 1 minute on that peak demand, you pay for that availability charge. Now the petrol station owner was paying 50,000 Rand a month availability charge because that was his peak. And what was happening there? Pumps, coffee machine, nothing much. All of a sudden he puts in a 150 kilowatt charger, it pushes his maximum peak demand through the roof. He's now 50,000 Rand, he's now 100,000 Rand. And is he recovering that on EV charging? Not a chance. He's regretting it. That's what we're hearing a lot of. This eliminates that. This takes away the requirement for the grid. Yes, I know you're going to say, what happens when there's no sun? Yes, there's an integration of battery and there's an energy mix. That's the word we need to use more. There's an energy mix required in that solution. Now that can charge a golden arrow bus. In fact, I would have loved to share the story with you, but one of the manufacturers has launched a brand new car in the Drakensberg, and they needed an EV charger remotely in the Drakensberg. So they phoned us, we went through and we put a charger in the middle of nowhere with 20 solar panels up to charge that car so that they could do their video film. There's a place for something different. That sounds like an African solution. That's what we've got to do. We've got to find African solutions to our problems. So go and have a look there. DC to DC EV charger. There are some others in the world, but none that size and as robust as that. So we're all about finding solutions. Here's my friend from East London who comes through with his EQ. He comes for a quick fast charge at our factory. By the way, that's my favorite electric car, the Gqeberha. I think that's so underrated. Absolutely love that car. We got a little agreement from the journalist on the side. BYD, the Dolphin, we invited 50 businesses. Ryan, were you there that day? You came through. We invited 50 businesses to say, stop this myth and fear about EV and range anxiety and come to the factory. We invited 50 businesses, BYD, Volvo, BMW were there, and we let them drive the cars and charge them. And we tried to shock them as well, just to give them a sense of excitement, but there wasn't anything like that. That was a joke. Anyway. Mini Gqeberha, there we go. BMW iX3, i3, beautiful BMW i3. Also, I think one of my favorites. A Dolphin, another Mini. It was a beautiful cars. And we had everyone come and experience it. And all of a sudden realized, man, this is so normal. And we've got two of these BYD Surfs outside. Nice, simple, easy. we need to educate the public about it, but it's the charging that really is the key thing. So let's quickly talk about the pipeline. So we need to find a solution that works for an African solution. And remember, what is the African thing? It's an unstable grid, it's long pipelines, it's theft, cable theft. We need solutions that are beyond what the first world experiences. They don't understand it. We've got to find power solutions there. And we believe from an R&D perspective, we have the skills here. Speak to the guys at Gendermark, speak to the guys at S4 in our city, all coming up with innovative solutions to overcome these problems. But here's so it's all there. The question is, when we comes to policy and these conferences, what's the first thing we do? We invite policymakers to come make decisions. What we should be doing is inviting the manufacturers. Imagine if all the manufacturers came in first and we wrote policy based on our local capabilities, our skills. Wouldn't that change the game completely? Let's have a dialogue with every manufacturer in the EV space, and let's create a roadmap for South Africa going forward based on our skills and our manufacturing capabilities. Now that's a game changer. That's an African way. That's not what's happening. I was invited, we were in China now recently, we were invited by DTRC, and we went to Chengdu, future city, where the pandas are. Sichuan spice and all of that. So we went up there, future city. Anyway, we drove around in electric cars all day long. Every public parking space, EV charger. Not a big charger, not a fast charger, a little Mickey Mouse AC charger, small plug, but everywhere, lifestyle. Drive along, get out my car, plug in, buy my bread, come out, plug in, unplug, and off I go. Lifestyle different. South Africa, not that lifestyle. We're not going to have that lifestyle. I did not see, in my 10 days there in China, I did not see one solar panel. I did not see one solar panel in my 10 days in China. I thought they would make solar, I thought they'd do it. They don't need it. They don't need solar. They've got stable grid. They've got coal-fired power stations built up in a couple of seconds. It's not a problem for them. They're manufacturing solutions for us. They're not manufacturing solutions for them. We've got to now start saying, thank you for the innovation technology. Let's find a solution that works for us. So there is a pipeline, and the pipeline is here in the room of gentlemen and ladies. And it's true local content. And I've said this here before, more local steps, more SME slots. That should be the focus for us in terms of it. What we're seeing at Microcare is that the local innovation can be done here. The innovation, the ideas, the brains are here. Let's not lose that. Let's bring that all together. There's tons of job pathways that we can see. You might have seen the news now recently, BYD, I know Steve's going to be here tomorrow. They want to roll out 200 chargers across the country. Imagine if every one of those chargers were South African. Made in South Africa. Imagine the jobs, imagine the skills. Imagine the young people who are in varsity right now who are considering careers, saying, this is a career I want to get into. In the next 10 years, I want to be building EV chargers for the future. We don't have that conversation now because we don't have these policies in place. That's the kind of conversation we need to have.